Cable Bahamas has always been considered the innovator.
People can have confidence in Cable Bahamas as a mobile operator because of our past history. We've proven to the Bahamian community that we are in fact able to manage additional services as a telecommunications company.
Customers expect the best from Cable Bahamas.
The technology that we bring is revolutionary technology because we know that the Bahamian public, they deserve it, and Cable Bahamas is here to bring it to them.
We are ready. Turn us on.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into MB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, the FNM is against a police probe into the V. Alfred Gray scandal. This, as the Bar Association president says, the matter gives the country a black eye. We let you, our viewers, weigh in on this week's hot topic, plus the masqueraders gearing up to bring paradise to the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. I'm Paige McCartney. We've got those stories and more straight ahead on MB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to MB12. Free National Movement Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest is questioning the need for police investigation into allegations that Michael MP V. Alfred Gray interfered with a court case. Turnquest insisted that the facts are evident, telling MB12 Gray needs to do the honorable thing and resign as Agriculture Minister. Vani Toot reports.
Members of the Free National Movement say they will not let up on their calls for local government minister V. Alfred Gray to either resign or be fired. FNM Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest told NB12 there is no need for an investigation, asserting it is very clear what happened.
No, I don't think there needs to be an inquiry at all. I believe that the facts are evident. And if there is any inquiry to be done, it can be done within an hour. And it's simply to make a call to the administrator, call him into Nassau if necessary, ask him the question. Did you get a call? What was the subject of that call? And if the subject dealt with his judgment or his conduct of that matter, regardless of whether an order was given or not, the very fact that there was an intervention by a minister who is in charge of that administrator is cause enough for Mr. Gray to do the honorable thing.
Gray has denied that he acted improperly when he contacted the Mayaguana Island administrator who was acting in his capacity as the local magistrate and told him he could release 19-year-old Jaquan Charlton. The Mayaguana resident lodged an appeal after he was convicted on a minor charge and sentenced to 3 months in prison. The teen's mother, Natasha Charlton, told NB12 on Wednesday that she called Gray, who was her MP, and asked him to help her son get bail. Prime Minister Perry Christie says Gray invited him to relieve him of his local government portfolio and to hold an independent investigation. However, Turnquest says that's not enough.
This, like the Davis matter and some other matters, he has an opportunity to put his foot down and to once and for all be the leader that we hope that he could be.
On Wednesday, Christie commended Gray for his responsible approach to the matter. Turnquest says this says a lot about Christie's leadership.
This is, again, a situation much like the one with the previous Christie administration, where there just seems to be a lack of leadership, lack of ability to control this cabinet. And you know, it is unfortunate. We hope that we had hoped that he would be able to show a bit more strength in this term, but so far, unfortunately, I believe that you know, there's something lacking.
St. Anne's MP Hubert Chipman says they will not let this matter rest.
I think Mr. Gray should step down. No question about it. No. Absolutely not. We intend to pursue it and continue to pursue it.
Reporting for NB12 Weekend, I'm Vonique Toot.
And President of the Bahamas Bar Association, Ellsworth Johnson, said the Gray scandal is embarrassing and gives the country a black eye. Johnson said any interference by the executive branch of the government into judicial matters should never occur, adding that when the judiciary is interfered with and the rule of law is threatened, you will have anarchy. The bar president says once a magistrate convicts a person, he cannot return to the matter. While he agrees with the decision to have the matter investigated, Johnson says a retired justice should have been involved in the probe.
This is a matter for an inquiry. And And I'm hoping that a retired justice, a senior member from the inner bar, would be appointed. If you're not satisfied with the decision, and the courts have said this, whether it be by a magistrate, you appeal to the Supreme Court. If you're not so satisfied with the decision of the Supreme Court, you can go to the Court of Appeal and then to the Privy Council. And justice is not a cloistered virtue. You can criticize it, but you must not impugn the good reputation of the court, so that the public loses confidence in it.
Gray has been accused of ordering Mayaguana Administrator Zephaniah Newbold to release a convict after he was sentenced to 3 months in prison. Johnson says it should never appear as if a politician is interfering with the duties of the judiciary.
You don't interfere, especially if one holds the seat of a cabinet minister, because it gives rise to this public discussion or public debate, which is in some sense healthy, because we should have these discussions. But you don't ever want this to happen.
And FNM Chairman Michael Pintard is insisting that the opposition is not letting up on the government suggesting that the unanswered questions and issues swept under the rug by the Christie administration must be answered and handled accordingly. Pintard is referring to the Prime Minister's request for new audits by the Public Hospitals Authority, which he says makes him question what happened to the original audits the government received a long time ago. The FNM chairman added that he thinks Prime Minister Christie, Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis, and Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez should focus on proper management and transparency within the PHA. And in other news tonight, a serial rapist yesterday pleaded guilty to 5 sexual assaults committed during a crime spree. 45-year-old Bradley Ellis carried out a campaign of terror from October to November 2009 and committed another offense in October 2014. Justice Carolina Bethel sentenced Ellis to 15 years imprisonment for the rape that occurred in 2014, which was backdated to his arrest date. In relation to the other matters, Ellis was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for 4 rapes that took place in 2009. Bethel took the time that Ellis spent on remand into account when passing sentence. Ellis pleaded guilty to another count of burglary and stealing that occurred in 2009. He was sentenced to 5 years for the burglary and 2 years for stealing, taking into account the time he had already spent in custody. Jomo Campbell appeared for Ellis and Kevin Farrington appeared for the Crown. Stay with us. When MB12 returns, viewers sound off on this week's hot topic, and later, the masqueraders preparing to bring a splash of color to the Junkanoo Carnival Parade. We'll tell you about those and other stories when we come right back.